So Giannis was asked a question by the reporter, and he had a great response. I'm sure that you saw it. And in his response back to the reporter, he talked about how Michael Jordan played 15 years and only won 6 championships. Does that mean that those other 9 years were a failure? What did you think about Giannis's response?
I see where Giannis is going with it. From a personal standpoint, no. He's not saying like failure is good. From a personal standpoint, what I think he was getting at was more so like they didn't win the championship, but it's not about that. It's what he's trying to say. Like, okay, we would learn from this. So everything that we did this year, like we're going to mark this as a failure. In his perspective, no. We know we got to do X better. We got to do Y better. We got to get, all the little shit, faster, stronger, smarter. We've made steps. We're number one team. Like, we've made steps. I think what he's trying to like go or trying to make his mark on is just because we didn't win a championship, we can't mark that down as a failure. I think even he like asked the reporter, like, so
He turned it around.
Yeah, he turned it and put it in his perspective. Like Eric, what was his name? Is Eric.
If you don't get a
promotion, you don't get a raise. Like, is this a failure? No, but I'm sure Eric is working his ass off. Yep. Like, he's building his resume towards that promotion.
Yep.
It's not that he failed that year in the long run or the grand scheme. He didn't fail that year. Like, he's made the steps to now when his time is to get that promotion, like, he's ready. You got to go through that. And I think that's just what Giannis was trying to explain. And the reason why I think the MJ thing, he brought up the MJ thing is, MJ had hell of a years. He had some years where he lost, but he elevated his game. He got better. And ultimately, those losses turned into him winning 3 in a row, leaving the game, come back, win another 3. Like, and I think from a professional standpoint, yeah, like, I'm sure their common goal was to win a championship. They didn't. That is a failure, I think, across the board. But from a personal standpoint, no, not a chance. I mean, I think you got to break down the way he quoted it, because he brought MJ in it, and he brought MJ in solely on an individual purpose, right? Because he didn't say the Bulls. He said of Michael Jordan's 15 years, he won 6 out of the 9. And so you break down the individual part of it. I think I failed. I'm 13 years in. I failed 13 times of winning a championship. Like, that's what I trained for, is to win a championship. But when I look at like my year 3, or just year, like each year, but let's go year 3, I was an all-star. I didn't fail. Like, I had a hell of a season. Like, right. I became an all-star. I became a household name. Like, I didn't fail. You know what I mean? Right. I overcame a ton of obstacles. I became, a household name. Year 4, I earned a max contract. Like, I didn't fail, from an individual standpoint. No. But when you look at it as a team standpoint, and they had the odds were stacked for them to win a championship. They were one of the top 3 teams to win a championship. Y'all didn't win a championship. Y'all failed. Like, you failed that season. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with failure. Failure is what drives you. Like, that. This next year, they should fucking be a whole completely different team because of the lesson learned. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, there's no reason to be afraid to say you failed. Like, you failed. You didn't win. If you ask us, we had a chance to win a championship with the roster that we had. We failed. We came up short. That was the only goal we had, was to win the championship. Like, we didn't care to be the first in the West. We didn't care to, like, regular season matters. We want to win every game. We want to get into the playoffs and give ourselves the chance to win a championship. We failed at that.
Jackie, it's time to check in on our prize picks.
Yeah, Dallas. It's playoff time, man. It's getting real serious right now. I'm trying to pick.
Yep, I just won big thanks to Jimmy Butler and Gabe Vincent beating their projections. How'd you do?
First of all, the people don't even know what we're talking about. Let them know what Prize Picks is, man.
Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you pick 2 to 6 players like the video on your screen, then pick if they will have more or less than their Prize Picks projection. You aren't competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. So, Jackie, how'd you win?
All I did was place the entry on Anthony Davis to score more points than he was projected to get, and Austin Reeves scored more points than he was projected to get. And at the end of the day, guess what? I know how much money I won. But Dallas, tell the people how much money they can win.
You can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And on top of that, all first-time users that deposit and use our promo code PODCASTP will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100.
That means if you deposit $20, Prize Picks will give you $20. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. Cha-ching!